hands and your palms into the earth. Press back opposingly to those hips. Or maybe you'll melt down into your mat. Starting to deepen your breath, officially arriving to your yoga practice. Letting go of any of those thoughts or feelings that don't serve you at this time. Trying to leave all of that for another time. Trying to be present for the next hour as we move throughout these postures. Starting to deepen your breath, finding your nice rhythmic, intentional breath. We're going to walk our palms and our hands over towards the left side, stacking your right palm on top of your left. Finding the side body stretch here, trying to sink that right hip back down towards its respective heel to deepen this expression. Draw a big breath here, fill up your right side body full of air, and then exhale. Walk your hands through center, take them over towards the right side, this time stacking the left palm on top of the right. Making those minor adjustments to deepen your stretch here. Draw a big breath and then exhale. Walk your hands towards center once again, resinking your child's pose. We're going to take a big breath and we're just going to roll up into our tabletop position. Bringing the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Take some sways here in the hips from side to side. Maybe a round or two of your cat and cow feels good. Stillness here in our tabletop. We're going to work on the wrists a little bit here. So we're going to start to turn one palm of the wrist back towards the knees, finding that external stretch on the inside of that right forearm. And then when you're ready, flip the other one. So maybe you'll invite in some gentle movements here. Slowly starting to unwind the wrists. We're going to point the fingers towards the top edge of the mat. And we're going to start to find a little counter rotation in those wrists. Point the fingers towards each other until you find your edge here. Maybe you'll shift a little bit side to side. We're just going to gently unwind both of the palms. We're going to flip one hand and gently press it into the floor, giving you the top part of your wrist a little stretch here into the joint. Be mindful of the pressure you apply. We're gently lifting that wrist, planting it into the floor. We'll flip the other palm and gently apply some pressure onto that wrist as well. Taking whatever movement feels good. We're going to plant our palms a half of a handprint in front of us, finding a little extension in our our tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes and then hover the knees, slowly starting to extend through the backs of the legs. Roll up into your downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here, lift one heel and lower the other. On an inhale, we're going to roll into our high plank. So we're coming into the top of a push-up here, finding our shoulders over our wrists. Once again, maybe you'll shift a little bit forward and back. We're going to gently lower the knees down towards the floor, untuck the toes, press back to your child's pose. And then here from our child's pose, we're going to tuck the toes, slowly start to lift the knees and extend back out to your downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank. Gently lower the knees and then once again sink back to child's pose. Draw a breath here, tuck the toes, start to hover the knees, extend the hips high, down dog. We'll take one more of those little flows. So inhale, we'll roll forward into our high plank. Lower the knees down, gently press back into your child's pose. Inhale, lifting the heels, we'll press the heels and the knees high, roll up into your down dog once again. Pausing in some stillness in our down dog, just breathing deep here, reconnect with that breath of yours. We're going to slowly start to tiptoe towards the top edge of the mat. Come into your ragdoll pose. We want to bend our knees a lot here. Let your upper body hang heavy. Maybe you'll grab onto ankles or bind opposite elbows and sway. Try to bend your knees a lot here. Bring your thighs towards your rib cage. Support yourself a great deal here. Weight to the heels. Release the arms long if you've bound them. We'll start to slowly roll up our spines. Stand at the top of the mat. Lifting the crown of the head, drawing your shoulder blades back. Take some big rolls of your shoulders once you arrive. Maybe some sways in the arms. Find stillness for a moment here. We're going to find a big standing camel. So we're going to bring the palms of our hands towards the back of our hips here, pressing into the top portion of your hips, your pelvis here. Try and draw your shoulder blades together. Bring your elbows close. Inhale, lift the crown of the head. Start to find that arch of the spine here. Press your hips forward. Lift the chin towards the sky. Next big inhale, start to roll up to a big standing position. We'll release those arms out long, shake it out a little bit here. We're going to take a half sun salutation and we're going to walk out to our downward facing dog. So following along with me, we'll meet our palms together in here, heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, start to hinge forward into your fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale and refold. We'll plant the palms of the hands, step both feet towards the back of the mat. You're in a high plank. Options here, you can lower your knees or not. Gently bending at the elbows. We'll roll down towards our bellies and inhale through a cobra, maybe an upward facing dog. Then tucking those toes and pressing those hips high, finding a downward facing dog. Inhale here, we're going to stretch that right leg high to the sky, find your three-legged dog. We're going to take a big step with that right foot towards the outside of the right hand, find your dragon lunge. Gently shift forward here from side to side. We're going to start to walk our hands out towards the left side diagonal. Turn those right toes parallel with the mat. Find your palms under your shoulders, inhale and lift. And then exhale, start to hinge at the hips, fold into your big wide Pasarita stance here. Maybe you'll reach for ankles or maybe walk your hands back between your legs. Maybe you'll just hang heavy here and breathe. fingertips. Just shift some weight into that left hip at the back of the mat, keeping sort of a high lunge stance. We're going to shift towards the opposite end and shift into that right hip. So not quite a ninja lunge here. If you're ready for that, of course, take what you would like. We're just trying to keep some height in those hips. Shift from side to side here. Give your hips a gentle little opening. We're going to pause when we're on the right hip at the top of the mat. Start to walk those hands back around. We're coming back towards the inside of that right leg into our dragon lunge. We're going to gently lower the left leg and untuck those toes. Find your fingertips here. We're going to start to shift some weight back towards those hips. Roll up onto that right heel, create some length in that right leg. And then inhale, roll forward, lift the crown, take a big breath. Exhale, shift your weight back once again. Inhale and roll forward, draw a big breath. And then one more time, exhale, sink it back. This time we'll pause and hold. Try and fold down, try to create a deeper stretch for that right hamstring here. And then on the next big inhale, we're going to roll forward once again. Plant into the sole of that right foot. We're going to plant into the palm of the left hand, tuck those left toes, lift the left knee. Inhale, sweep that right arm forward and up and around. Find a big horizon lunge expression where we're reaching that right hand towards the back of the mat here. Pivoting onto the outside of those ankles here, sort of a deeper stretch into those hips. Inhale and sweep that arm forward and up. We're going to plant into the palm of that right hand and step that right leg back to meet the left, high plank. Options once again here, you can take a vinyasa or not, so you can skip it and head straight to your downward facing dog. It's totally optional as everything. So, meaning in your down dog with those hips pressed high. Big inhale here, we'll stretch the left leg up. We're going to take that big step into our dragon lunge, bringing the left foot towards the outside of the left hand. Shift a little bit forward and back here. We're going to start to walk our hands and our upper body around towards the right side, turning the toes and the hips. We're in that wide-legged stance again. We're going to take a secondary fold here. So on an inhale, find that halfway lift. And then on your exhale, start to hinge down into your fold. Maybe you'll take the same expression as before. Maybe you'll try something different. Maybe you'll bind the hands behind your back or reach for big toes. You decided on an inhale, walking those hands back under the shoulders, finding that halfway lift. We're going to start those little flows into the hips, but this time I encourage you to sink a little deeper. Maybe you'll come into your full expression of your Skandasana, sinking into that left hip, right hip at the back of the mat, and then shifting the weight all the way towards the top, flowing back and forth at your own pace here, taking what feels best for you, just playing with your range of motion here. Next time you're at the top of the mat, into that left hip, pause. We're going to walk the hands around back towards the inside of that left leg, finding our dragon lunge once again. We're going to gently lower that right knee and untuck those toes, finding fingertips and finding a little elevation in the spine. We're going to shift our hips back towards our heel, rolling up onto that left heel, finding that straight leg. Inhale and flow forward. On an exhale, shift it back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, shift it back. Maybe we'll pause here for a few deep breaths, feeling that length in the back of that hamstring. we'll roll forward, planting the sole of that left foot. We're going to plant into the palm of that right hand, tuck those right toes, lift that right knee. Inhale, sweep that left arm forward and up. Roll onto the outsides of those ankles and heels. Straighten that left arm back towards the other edge of the mat. Reach to the wall. Draw a big breath, sweep all the way back around. We'll plant the palm of that left hand. Sweep that leg back to meet the right, high plank. Options once again for a vinyasa or not. Lowering at the elbows, inhaling through a cobra or upward facing dog. And tucking the toes and pressing the hips high, down dog. Big inhale here. We're going to draw that right leg high to the sky once again. Drawing that knee towards our nose, we're going to step the foot between the hands. Gently dropping that back knee and untucking those toes. Inhale, sweep those arms forward and up for your Anjaneyasana. Exhale, we'll frame out that right foot. We're going to tuck those back toes, lift the back knee, flatten out in that back foot on a 45-degree angle. Reaching with the right hand, we're going to start to extend through that right leg, peel that left arm high, and find your triangle pose. Big breath, reverse your triangle, sweeping that right arm up to the sky and drawing that left arm down. Big side body stretch here. Reach long from the top of your foot to your fingertips. On an inhale, we're going to rise up, take the arms wide, gently bend into that front knee and find your warrior two. Down, framing out that front foot once again, runner's lunge. We'll step that foot back to meet the left, high plank. Options again for a vinyasa. You can stick it and head straight to your down dog. Big breath here, we're going to sweep that left leg high. Draw that knee towards your nose and then stamp that foot between the hands. We're going to drop that back knee and untuck those toes. Sweep those arms forward and up for your Anjaneyasana. We're going to exhale and frame the foot, tucking those right toes, lifting the right knee. Find that flat 45-degree angle on the back foot. Reaching with the left hand, we're going to extend through the left leg. Peel that right arm up to the sky for your Trikonasana. Big inhale, we'll reverse, so flipping, bringing that left arm high, right arm sweeps down. Inhale to an upright spine and gently bend into that left knee, find your warrior two. Draw a big breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing out the left foot. We're going to sweep that left foot back to meet the right. Find your high plank once again. Inhale and lower down, or meeting in your down dog, your way. From our downward facing dog, we are going to walk, hop, or step our feet towards our hands, top edge of the mat. Coming to your forward fold. On an inhale, we're going to find that halfway lifted spine. On an exhale, we're going to refold. Inhale, we're going to reverse swan dive, lift all the way up to stand. Sweep your arms out. Draw a big breath, and then exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. We're going to play with some balancing. So we're going to come into our little flying pigeon expression, I think is what it's called. So we're going to spread our left toes wide, gently drawing that. So we're going to change it up. We're going to come into our big eagle. So with that, we're We got the left leg on top, so we're going to spread our arms wide. We're going to draw that left arm underneath the right. Try and flip those palms here, finding your eagle wrap arms. And then slowly, under control, starting to crunch in and try and draw those elbows toward the knees. Keeping strong in that balance, strong in your core. Slowly, with control, we're going to rise up, keep the bind. We're going to unwind, draw that right knee high. Slowly start to hinge forward, finding your expression of your warrior three. Slowly inhaling, starting to rise back up. Release the bind of the hands, stretch it out, good work. You guys looked awesome. We get a second side of that, so if you did good that last time, maybe you should screw this up. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to spread those right toes wide. Starting to think about getting heavy in that heel, light in the left leg. Drawing that knee high, passing through your crane pose for a moment here. And suturing that leg over the top of that right leg here. We're going to spread our arms wide. This time the left arm's on top. Flipping the palms, coming into your wrap, your eagle wrap here. And when you're ready and you're comfortable, starting to gently crunch in, take this little bow. Strong in that post leg. We're going to start to inhale and rise up. Gently uncross the left leg, lift it high. Start to send it back, hinging forward. Find your warrior three. On an inhale, starting to rise back up slowly with control. Bring it all down. Unwind the arms. Good work. Shake it out here. We're going to draw that right arm across our body. Hook it with the left arm. Give your arm a big hug here. We'll look over that right shoulder and away from that arm. Inhale and release. Swing the arms out a little bit here. This time across that left arm across the body. Give it a little hook here. We'll release the arms. Pull the shoulders a little bit here. Find some stillness in our big tall mountain poses for a moment. Bring our hands together in heart center. We're going to find our way back to our down dog. So taking the sun salutation with me, skipping, pulling hands, sweep your arms out now. Exhale, big fold, fold. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. We'll plant the palms of the hands, step the feet towards the back of the mat, high plank. Options, knees or not. You can lower the knees and bend the elbows. Inhale through your cobra or your upper facing dog. Tucking your toes and pressing your hips high, down dog. Inhale here, we're going to sweep that right leg once again high to the sky. Bend your knee and stack your hip here. Maybe you'll find some big hip opening circles, or maybe you'll play with your flip dog and roll that right foot all the way out towards the left. Flipping inside out here, finding a little inversion flip. Meeting with that right leg instead of high to the sky. We're going to come into our half pigeon next. So we're going to draw that right knee forward and gently touch that leg down. Trying to create length in that left leg. Stacking some weight onto the outside of that hip. You want to try and draw that knee towards the top edge of the mat. Trying to create that whole external rotation in the outside of that hip. And when you're ready, walking yourself down onto your forward straight to your down dog. Big inhale here, we'll stretch the left leg high. Bend your knee and stack your hip here. Find some of those big hip opening circles. Or maybe you'll flip into your wild thing or your flip off. We'll meet with that left leg extended to the sky. We're going to start to draw that knee towards our nose and gently pull that shin down, coming into our second half of our sleeping pigeon here. Getting that big stacking sensation going in that hip. And when you're ready, easing yourself down, breathing nice and easy. Swing that right leg all the way forward and around. Coming into your seated tree here. Taking that slight turn in your torso and then sitting up nice and tall and walking yourself down that leg. And rolling up to a tall spine. We're going to draw the sole of the right foot in, coming into our little butterfly seat here. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to wrap the outer edges of our feet with our hands. Maybe you'll take a little flaps of your wings here for a moment, finding a nice tall spine. We're going to bow forward. Once you've found your edge here, maybe you'll stay here, or maybe you'll tuck it around your chin towards your chest. So you find a little rounding in the spine here. Here. Maybe you'll peel that right shoulder back. Maybe you'll hook the top of that right knee with the left elbow. If it's accessible to you, give yourself a little deeper twist. crossing it over the right leg. We're going to find that big twist, so wrapping that left knee with the right arm, extending that arm back, feeling that shoulder back, and we're stretching your seated twist. Bring your hands towards the backs of your legs to support yourself. Makes it a little easier. Maybe you'll challenge yourself. Keep your arms out long. Draw a big breath, and then exhale, lower it all down. Stretch your arms out long, find a big belly stretch here. We're going to bend our knees and draw them in towards our chest, curl up into a ball shape here. Give yourself a big hug, roll around here from side to side. Get some little movements here, a little bit of free time. We're going to release the grip around the legs, keep the bend in the knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. We're going to come into a few rounds of our bridge here. So sweeping your arms down by your side and walking those heels in a little closer. Try and bring that natural curvature of your spine flat onto the mat. And when you're ready here, we're going to draw a big breath and lift those hips up to the sky. Roll up into your expression of your bridge. Try and keep those knees tracking forward. Peel the shoulder blades off the mat here. And on your next exhale, lower your hips back down. Bring your low back onto the earth. Take some sways of your knees here from side to side. We're going to find stillness and get ready for our second bridge. This time maybe you'll bind your hands behind your back or lift a little higher or take any sort of expression you want. If a wheel's in your practice, please feel free. On a big inhale, we'll lift the hips high, rolling up into whatever bridge you like. Take a big inhale here, fill your body up full of air. Then exhale it all out and come back to the mat. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together and allow our knees to fall wide. Find your Supta Baddha Konasana here. Bring one hand to your heart, one to your belly, and just breathe easy here. Release our arms out to our sides, planting into the palms. We're going to draw both of those knees back together. Lift that left leg and cross it over the top of the right, almost coming back into your little eagle wrap legs. We're going to allow our knees to fall over towards the left side, keeping that left ankle on the top of that right knee. Maybe you'll give yourself a gentle little press here and find this expression of your twist. Maybe you'll look out and away from that twist, out towards that right arm or shoulder. Drawing a big breath here, we're going to carry our legs through center, the crossing of the legs. We're going to draw that left ankle over the top of that right knee, coming into this little figure four shape. We're going to find our reclined pigeon, so we're going to start to bend those knees and those hips, draw those legs in close, reach with the hands for the inside of that right hamstring, or maybe the top of that right knee. Drawing that shape in close here, finding your expression of your reclined pigeon. Gently releasing the grip of the knee or the hamstring, bringing the sole of that right foot onto the floor. We're going to part our hands back out to our side, and we're going to take our legs over towards the right side, plant the sole of that left foot into the floor. Find this little counter twist, a little stretch in the abdomen and the obliques here. Those legs through center. Stretch that left leg high, maybe roll out through the ankle once or twice. We're going to bend that knee, bring it down to meet the right. Take some gentle sways of the knees here for a moment. We're going to get ready for the second half of that sequence. So we're going to lift that right leg and gently cross it over the top of that left leg. Tightening the crossing however you feels best for you. We're going to allow those legs to go over towards the right side. Find the second twist, allowing that leg to hang heavy, looking out towards that extended left arm. Loosen the crossing of the legs here, drawing that ankle over the top of the left knee, creating that little figure four shape. And when you're ready, reaching those legs in close, grabbing onto the hamstring and the top of the knee, finding your reclined pigeon here, drawing those legs in tight. of our choosing, I'm going to offer a sleeping tiger, lifting the arms and the legs. Maybe a shoulder stand in your practice, or maybe a headstand, or any sort of inversion that's calling to you. Please feel free. Breathing nice and deep here. To unwind from your inversion. Really seeing your arms and your legs out by your side, coming into your final posture, your Shavasana. Taking up a whole bunch of space here, letting go. I'll bring you back here shortly. Starting to bring your awareness back. Deepening your breath. Inviting small movements back to your body. Maybe moving the fingers or the toes or wrists or ankles. Maybe you'll stretch your arms long overhead and take a great big good morning stretch once again. Curling up into a little ball shape, giving yourself a big hug and a squeeze here. Thanking yourself for showing up to your yoga mat this afternoon, doing something kind for your body and mind. When you're ready, gently helping yourself up to a comfortable seat. Joining you with your hands drawn together at heart center. Thank you all for sharing your time and your energy with me and with each other. Hope that you have